Guten Morgen, Bonjour, Bom dia, Dobre din, Gune din, Ni hao, Namaste, Sawadee Kap, Salamat Pagi to all of you beautiful citizens of this glorious earth. Today, I intend to find my real voice. Today, I intend to raise my real voice so that there can be a small inner revolution in you too, so that you can discover your inner voice in a world where this inner voice is oppressed and suppressed. In India, my friends, laws are being enacted by virtue of which all of our digital content and conversations will be monitored, and we can't speak a word against the people who are making these laws. Now, let go of the corrupt past of our politicians and live in the present. Our rights of vocalizing against a democracy that we have chosen are being oppressed. This, along with the fact that we can very clearly see corruption in every grassroots level of the governance of our country. And I'm not speaking it out of malice. I love my country. I practice yoga as an embodiment, as a way of life, not as a spiritual capitalistic tool that India uses to enhance tourism. I am not a professional mystic where there are so many who try to cling on to Hinduism and spread the agenda of certain parties. But I am someone who just has a voice and who wants to speak the truth today, here now, so that you sitting right there, paying your taxes, living in this country with a very beautiful and glorious past, culturally very ahead of times at that point of time, which is being diluted now, which is very evident by virtue of the ratings of our passport and how someone looks at us when we are traveling abroad, and by virtue of what you can see with respect to Bollywood, cricket, all the match fixing, all the stupid content that is thrown on our face by the Instagram algorithms, how diluted the consciousness of our country has come down to. And it's not because of me and you, it's because of stupid policy making. It's because of uh, these politicians supporting certain copycat capitalists who make enough money, and the entire bureaucracy and the entire system runs on their money. And because of the greed that is infused into the lives of the lower sections of the vote bank. So we as humans, as middle class, upper middle class humans who are trying to make a life, who live honest lives, who go to work, who work hard, and also pay our taxes, deserve to find our voice at least and question what's going on. What's going on with all the scams? What's going on with all the politicians and their goons who drive their cars? There's no qualification required for drivers of politicians. And I see in my hometown of Dehradun, and if you want to come for me, you can come for me, it's okay. Because now I've understood that I have to speak my truth irrespective of the consequences. So in my hometown, there are at least 20 to 25% cars on the road which are labeled Bharat Sarkar, Indian government. And the people who are driving these are either drunk, they're not following any traffic rules, and they have a sense of supremacy, as if anything that they would do will be taken care of by someone else, even if it's an accident, even if it's a murder. Someone somewhere will make a call, and it will all be handled. And this is the state of affairs of our country, and this is not far away. It happened to my father recently. If you see social media, the news that is shared, the common news which is shared by virtue of common people, this is what it is. It gets lost in the noise of news channel trying to glorifying governments or spreading war, spreading diseases, trying to derail you from your self-awareness. But this is the state of affairs of our country, that even an uneducated driver who's drunk and who hits your car is safe, and you who are paying taxes, double taxes on the vehicle as well, to the government as well, and who's electing these representatives for yourself, who are themselves not educationally qualified, who are themselves not actual leaders living with examples, who are getting five, six cars for free, and who have drivers who have no qualifications. They are making the phone calls irrespective of what's going on to protect their own self investment, their drivers. So, this is the state of affairs of the place we are. And it's not only there. If you see, all of our modern day mystics are businessmen, are capitalists, are professionals, and they're being treated as gurus. And just compare them with someone who was actually rebellious, someone who was actually uh, not afraid of saying the truth, someone who was actually putting it right as it is, irrespective of the religion, the country. People like those are condemned. People like those are made outcasts. Propagandas and media PR plans are, laid against them, or they are executed. They are poisoned. And this is how it has been straight since the crucifixion of Christ. And it is not dissimilar. Anyone who speaks the truth is crucified, and everyone who is a part of that whole of greed and money and all the things that are making humans reach their animal forms, they celebrate together. Look at the fixing in cricket. Look at all the Bollywood superstars who are modern day agriculturists because they want to protect their money from tax. All of this scam of the media that presents to you a very, very troublesome picture and a glorified picture of our politicians protecting this world, of the arms race and the money that goes into ammunition and buying things that actually we won't need, because who wants war? Ask the common citizen who's living together harmoniously. Who wants war? But I think the solution to all of this doesn't lie in these revolutions and going out there and getting yourself killed and crucified by a force which is more powerful. The corrupt are more powerful and cunning. They will do things that the aware will never think of doing. So what we can actually do is, rather than having a revolution outside, and we've seen all the revolutions of the world which don't work, outer revolutions, we need to have inner revolutions. Inner revolutions that make us more aware, make us more conscious, make us more empowered, and make us more full of life energy. Yes, we go back to the India that was, the Bharat that was, the mystics and sages, the Kabirs, the beautiful, amazing sages of Buddhas, and all the people that have come before us. And we embody all the gods, all the millions of gods in India. We embody some of their principles and generate life energy, generate awareness, find our voices. And then, just like this beautiful bird around me, we raise our voice, not to oppress someone else, but to get into a collective consciousness of brotherhood. Can't we create a new way of life which is full of love, joy, happiness, healing, and well being, rather than always fearing our neighbors, always uh, living, chasing some goals, chasing some greed, getting distracted, delusional, being manipulated by people who are ahead of us? Because now it's that time where AI is coming in, consciousness is uplifting in the world. And if we don't act right now, our inaction will create a reality which will get even difficult for us and for everyone else. A beautiful little magpie here. Beautiful. Singing away to glory, raising her voice, just like we should. So we have to find our inner voice and raise our inner voice and come together rather than question and oppress others, just like the majority of the unconscious people running this country and this world are doing. I just want to tell you that when I travel abroad, I come across a lot of Indians who I don't even want to talk to, because they don't represent the culture, they don't represent the values, and they don't respect other culture and values. And this is very disheartening. I would like to be there for my fellow Indian or a fellow human, but they have been dehumanized by a system which corrupts their mind, body, and soul, straight from religion to media to politics to way of living. And when they're traveling outside, their behavior is unruly. unkind, without compassion, far away from the sages, far away from the yogic lifestyle, far away from everything. Although they will be worshipping, they will be God fearing, and they will be, putting God ahead. But in terms of their embodiment, they are zero. And if you are praying to someone out of fear and not embodying, then you're not doing justice to whatever you're doing in life. So if I, for example, love, or if I am a devotee of Krishna, Rama, Buddha, I want to read about these people, how their lives were. I want to embody their values, their systems, rather than have a very big idol in front of me and then just chanting their names like a stupid, fearful, God fearing, uneducated, unaware person. So if I am wanting to embody, and if I am wanting to live by the principles they live by, that's difficult. That's not easy. What is easy is to just chant, just be fearing, and just create a community of fellow unaligned, misaligned people together, so that we have a common aspect. And with that common aspect of no practice, no embodiment, just, oh, we are together in this community, we create a majority and then suppress others who are actually trying to embody and live by those principles. So when I see these people traveling, health zero, bellies hairy, hairline receding, food seeking Indian food all around, spicy, stimulating, and then eyes deprived. The only thing that separated us from the West was that we were content in the little things of life. But such has been the influence of the Western mind, which I'm not saying is bad. They are much more dedicated and much more systematic and scientific than us. But they're also capitalistic, and they like hoarding, and they like, being efficient in that aspect of life without knowing at the end what they want. Because the people I've worked with in my high performance coaching from the West, they have a lot of money, but they don't know what to do with it, and they don't have contentment. Here we had contentment to begin with, but then we started chasing. So the tier A cities, okay, now this is a representation of India. Tier A cities, very good at copycatting the Western people, but no dedication. None of their good habits are copied. All of their uh, stupid, stupidity, all of their fanciness, all of their fake etiquettes are copied. Tier A cities, okay? They are wannabe Westerners, and they are very far away from Indian consciousness. So you will find a lot of affairs in society, a lot of drivers coming in when someone has crashed a car. Everyone wants to be in a race of showing a persona. Now, tier B cities are wannabe tier A cities, but they're slightly closer to their consciousness, still away from it. So they're even worse. Tier B cities are like, they're trying to copycat the tier A cities, who themselves don't know why they're copycatting the West and the bad habits of them. And then tier C cities, they're trying to be versions of tier B cities. We're talking about the humans there, okay? They're trying to be wannabe tier A city people who themselves are unaware. So there's much more unawareness, but still there is some connection to the roots and the groundedness. And then there are the villages. Most of the villages have internet and this and that. So now they're also not far away from tier C cities, but still they are rooted and connected in their own self. They have groundedness, they have farms, they have nature, they have their own cultures, they have their own faith, and they're living in that communal harmony. They're still bartered. They're still all those things. The corruption is a little less. And they're far living lives of far better fulfillment. But still, that influence is there. Oh, let's go to the cities. There's something better lying. Oh, let's go to bigger cities and bigger cities. Oh, now let's go abroad. And when they go abroad, all these people, and they go abroad, Akshay Kumar was saying, I will quote his name. Oh, when I go abroad and travel, they just look at my passport, which is like inferior, 80th passport, my 81st passport in the world, for the highest, for the people with the, for the country with the highest population, 81st level of passport. Ah. And he says, oh, people ask me, immigration people ask me, oh, you're such a cool person. You're from this country of Modi. No one says that. No one. I've been around a lot. This guy has sold his soul to the government, and I don't mind saying that. I don't like such people who are, I used to be a fan. I used to look at his life, very good martial artist, this, that, the depth of him, good comedy, this, that. But then what bloody lies are you telling people? Immigration people look at you as if you are a suspect if you show them an Indian passport. That is how it is. And then people like me have to lower down our etiquettes, learn their language, and make them understand that not all Indians are the same. Imagine the downfall. When I was in Thailand, the local Thai person used to run away from me. And then I used to talk in his language. And with 2 months of staying there, make them believe that Indians are not just one fit all. Because Indians in Bangkok had tried to molest girls inside hostels. Indians in Bangkok create fights at Khao San Road. Although they have acquired the etiquettes of the good life and fun and this and that, but deep inside, they are still hollow and empty because they're losing their touch with their inner voice, their spirituality, their rhythm. And what they are doing is packaging it all up very beautifully, utilizing their temples and selling it to the West. And the West is coming here. And only the delusional West comes. Only the people who've gone beyond a certain level and they've had enough of their funds of life, they come here. The pole dancers and the strippers, they come to Rishikesh, and that's what I've seen again. They come and they hire these tour guides, I call them, these Indians who are oogling, and just at the sight of bright skin they oogle, and they don't know about the case history, the past, the depth, the darkness, the energy of this person, but they become tour guides, and that person, the other person's free. They've seen it all, done it all. They just give a good look. They just give a good caress. And they hire this Indian tour guide who keeps them safe, takes them around, spends his money. Themselves, they try to understand. And then they themselves become a part of that religious capitalism, selling the religion in their own dedicated way, because now they come from a scientific capitalistic way. So they are more efficient in selling it. But where does the actual ethos of spirit go? That's why the need of more interpreters is required. The scientific mind is coming to spirituality and selling spirituality scientifically. Now that's why when I'm in Changu, I see a board of yoga. Oh, pure yoga, this. And some people stretching, some people are wearing all these beads, and all of them are not from India. Now they have made their own community. And I'm not saying it's wrong. They've done a good job at capitalizing yoga. But you as an Indian have yoga running in you, irrespective of how lost you are in your mind to and sold to the idea of the capitalistic world. You have it running in you because you're from this land, you're from the beauty and bliss of the sages who have blessed this land. But then you forgetting it makes them empowered. And it's not a fight. It's good on their part that they're at least trying, because some of these Westerners really see through the fabric of India and really meet that spirituality amidst all the chaos, cow dung, and bullshit. And they really redefine their lives. And they become very good agents of communicating this spiritual essence in a scientific way. So only a very few percent of that. And us, we take it for granted. You know, we take it for granted. But then the Westerners also have to realize that the right interpreters are required. And what is the solution for all of this is, as Carl Jung stated, individualization. We have to individualize and become whole in ourselves. Once that is there, once we've stopped muted the news, kept away from the digital lifestyle, kept away from this politics as much as you can, keep away from these governments and their medias and their, agencies, then you get into self-awareness. Then you get into enriching your own, fueling your own energy, following your own purpose rather than becoming engineer, doctor, this, that bullshit, which is generational limiting beliefs, generational enslavement. If you go beyond that and you're doing what you love and loving what you do, the money doesn't become a problem then. You're happy with what you get because you're doing things out of happiness. And then you actually make much more wealth, and then you can separate yourself from the society more. And then you can make your own decisions. And when you can make your own decisions, then that's when you're free. Not when you're going out to Bangkok and Krabi and Bali and having freedom in, your experiences, and then coming back and being enslaved in the mind. No, it's about that freedom within. And that's what lifestyle within is all about, helping you find your freedom within. And if you can, just make an effort of being more self aware and conscious. I want all the conscious people to become wealthy and wealthy people to become conscious. We are not living a separated life, we are living an integrated life. Spirituality has to meet materiality, and we need people to rise up to their highest potentials, both financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, for themselves, not to prove a point to others. Instagram, YouTube, social media, all this crap will give you peanuts for the stuff that you give it. You have to use it to create massive change, to speak your truth like I am. And if you can't, then just spend some time alone and find your inner voice. With that being said, if this resonates and if you want to listen to more of these tapes before the government bans me, before YouTube questions me, before I violate some norms of this uh, society which is built on stupid norms, my values guide me more than rules which have been set to make people slaves. And if your values are and virtues are alive, you don't need to follow rules. You will yourself be humble. You will yourself be compassionate, kind, and loving. But if you're too much guided by these rules and laws and etiquettes, which are enforced upon by someone who themselves doesn't have etiquettes, where are you? So if you want these truth drops, because I've just scratched the surface today, then I'm ready to create it. But if you're not, if I don't see likes, comments, and people interacting, then what's the point of saying all this? I think everyone's happy in their desperate silence, in their dissatisfaction, in their depression. With that being said, I wish for the best in you, and for that I want everyone to be aware of what's going on, and only from awareness can we shine. Namaste.